Hello, today we remember the death in 1900 of Nietzsche, the 19th century philosopher who came up with many interesting ideas, but one of them related to boredom. Um, Boredom is something that these days we seem to need to avoid at all costs, and of course the smartphone has become an immediate way of dealing with any moment when there's nothing else happening. You take it out of your handbag or your pocket and find something to occupy your mind. But he would have said no. That's not what you should be doing. You should embrace boredom because it can be very creative. He says in facing up to boredom and allowing yourself to be bored, creative things begin to happen. You begin to have a greater self-awareness and a greater knowledge of what you might be doing with your life. You need to allow those moments of not having anything else occupying the mind to come up with their own truths and realities. He's not the only 19th century philosopher to have talked about boredom. Another one was Kierkegaard. And he decided that the way to avoid it was what he called the rotation system, constantly moving. And he said there are two types of the rotation system. One is where you want to constantly change your environment. Uh, and the other is where you constantly change your attitude to your environment. And of course, he's much more in favour of the second. He thinks that's much more creative, much more adult. And of course, it does remind us that if we think we're bored, we can often blame our environment and blame what's around us that there's nothing stimulating, whereas actually it's our own inability to find something interesting and stimulating in the environment that is what's causing any kind of boredom that we might be feeling. And another philosopher who dealt with the topic was Schopenhauer. And he said that one of the things about boredom is that it opens our eyes to the beauty of existence. He says if we really allowed ourselves to be bored, we would realize that the thing that really mattered in life was that we were alive. He says that we would know then that our existence fulfilled our deepest desires. And I think that's worth remembering if ever we feel bored or have to fill an odd moment or feel we need to fill an odd moment, that perhaps just to sit and be grateful that we're alive, grateful for existence, grateful for those even very small things that make our life interesting and make our environments beautiful and attractive. Just to allow those things to become much more dominant in our thinking and our feeling is one very good way of celebrating boredom.